You are trying to turn something innocent into something harmful because of what's going on in your marriage. How about we work on security within ourselves first? Followed by that same person saying, I want your husband to crack my back. I did not think that I would ever talk about anything like this. In fact, my first video of this month was supposed to be my Heartstopper reaction where my girlfriend and I watched season 2. What should have been a wholesome start to this month has now been tainted because some people insist on talking about their own taints, if you know what I mean. I don't even have a sponsor for this video. This is how last minute it was. You know how ridiculous this topic has to be for me to give up my own bag? But the drama that has happened has stood out to me because I always considered the online book community to be this niche thing, and this is the first time I've seen it bleed over to real life. And it all started from a very slippery slope that I like to call being horny on Main. And you don't want to be horny on Main because now we have to see the ramifications of this stuff. I also think this could be an interesting discussion about online behavior and social boundaries and consent. So let's get into it. First, I'll give you a debrief about what BookTok is, and specifically spicy BookTok, because not everyone is on the app. Me personally, I don't fuck with BookTok. Sometimes the algorithm tries to bait me by showing book related videos, and I'm always like, you're not gonna try to get me wrapped into this shit, and I immediately scroll. You think with all the bullshit I gotta deal with from BookTube, I'm gonna venture onto BookTok as well? I might as well do crack, and that would have been a more responsible life decision. So the TikTok app has a niche called BookTok, which is basically videos that are focused on books. And within BookTok, there is a smaller niche called spicy BookTok, and this is basically where people love to read books that have smut or erotica in them. I read a pretty popular one from there called Hooked, and I did a whole roast video about it if you want an example of the type of shenanigans that go down in those books. And then there's another niche for hockey romance BookTok where the romance involves a hockey player. And you might be asking, Cindy, if you don't mess with BookTok, how do you know all of this? Well, that's because my girlfriend loves spicy books and she loves hockey romance books. That's where I've gotten the insider information because she eats that shit up. However, she does not condone what went down in the situation that I'm going to talk about, nor was she ever involved in this. So it's worth noting that this situation isn't reflective of a lot of romance readers. Most romance readers are just here to have a silly, goofy time, but it's this smaller subgroup that's bringing on the smoke. You know when you're hanging out with a group of people and you're just having a silly, fun time, and then there's just like that one person that kind of takes it too far and makes it weird for everyone? This is basically like that, except now Rolling Stone is reporting about it. Something that BookTok does is face claim, which means they take a real life person, like a celebrity, and they cast them for that character. So outside of BookTok, in the real world, there is a hockey team called the Seattle Kraken. I don't know anything about hockey because I don't participate in white people culture, but from what I have gleaned from it, they seem to be a very popular hockey team. One of the players in the team is called Alex Wennberg, and he is a very popular choice for face claiming a book character in one of those hockey romances because he is white and tall, I guess. It doesn't really take much to be considered appealing to romance readers because you just have to look like you've never been hate crimed. So for several months, a lot of people in BookTok have been posting fan edits where it's basically like clip compilations of his games and putting them together as if they're edits for what's going on in the hockey book that they're reading. Like he's representing that character. And it's not just him, they've claimed other hockey players on the team as well. One of the BookTokers, who is gonna be the most notable one in this situation, is named Kierra Lewis because she is very passionate about these fan videos or thirst videos for these hockey players, and she has over 1 million followers. So here are some examples of the videos that she's made.
Alex Wennberg! Baby, I mean I got 5 holes, but I got 3. And since you're so good at assisting, why don't you assist your teammates in scoring in all 3 of my holes? Hello! Woo! Just look at that face. Don't it just scream, sit on it? Hello! When I tell y'all I wake up every day praying to Jesus to turn me into ice, cause what I wouldn't give to have this man glide on me. Hello, Alex, I know you just signed to the Seattle Kraken, but what's a sister gotta do to have you crack this back? Hello, girl, the eyes on this man could literally, he could suck my, well, I could do whatever. The eyes on this man is insane. Literally, he could snatch my soul from me and I would say thank you. So yeah, Alex, when you done playing your little game, go on and spit out that mouthpiece, cause I got something else you can not spit on. Well, you can do that too, but I got something else to put in your mouth. Hello. Woo, baby, when I tell you my black ass has never been to anything on time, but best believe after seeing them little stretches, oh yeah, I'm going to every hockey practice, every game, early as hell. definitely gonna have to put a wet floor sign up. Hello. So, yeah, are y'all hiring? I mean, I did take a kinesiology class, and I'm all for supporting my men and not getting any groin stretch. Matter of fact, I got some exercises of my own to assist them with it if they need it. Hello. But, yeah, in the comments, somebody let me know when is the next hockey game, because sis will be pulling up to play with sticks. Oh, and to see them win, too. Hello.
Clearly, she's very passionate about thirsting after white men, and she provides like an entertaining factor because she's very vocal and tongue-in-cheek about it, and obviously just being silly. And the team, or at least the people who are running the team's social media account, seem to be amused by her videos because they end up following her and kind of joining in on the bit. They start posting more videos about this player because they know that they'll get more engagement. They lean into how attractive these players are with some of their own edits on the account.
Just when I thought it couldn't get any better, the Seattle Kraken does it again. Just brilliant.
And then they even invite Kierra to one of the games and give her a jersey that says BookTok.
Baby, reporting live from the Kraken game. They got me a gift. Let's see what it is.
When he grows up, somebody make some noise for Trevor. Oh boy.
Oh, God, it's a jacket. I literally just got me a jacket. Oh my God. Oh, now that's what I'm talking about, baby. We doing it for book time. I am here for it. Number one, yes. A hat. Oh, now this is why.
The start of tonight's show. Make sure to put your LED wristbands on now.
Baby, it's warm-up time. Let's fucking go. Ah! They doing it. They doing it. Wennberg. 21. Can you do something? Oh, yes, you can do something for me. The pictures don't do Wennberg justice. This boy's a fucking Ken doll. Tame away. What's wrong with you? Damn, I'm trying to be in between them legs. Or in between my legs. I'm about to get this and fucking attention, man. I'm like, yeah, I like that. Get it, get it, get it, get it. Yes, Turbo! Oh my God, it's like heaven. They're all on their knees right now. I fucking love it. Baby, my kitty not used to being around this many fine men, man. That's my man! I love you! Crack my back! Crack my back! Crack my back!
So the TikTok account of the Seattle Krakens essentially fanned the flames of people's horniness. They saw everybody's panties in a twist and they were like, let's wring this even further. So it came to a point where some people on BookTok were starting to make even more sexually explicit comments about him. Like if you go to a video that features him, you would see floods of comments that are thirsting after him. Sometimes they'll even tag him in sexually explicit comments, and they might even DM him, to the point where the wife of Alex Wennberg is like, maybe we need to pull it back. So the wife, whose name is Felicia Wennberg, posted this on her Instagram story. So I've joked before and called my husband BookTok's wank bank, and honestly did not mind. I always thought Alex was the most beautiful person in the world, and that it just seems the world finally caught up to it. The reason I struggle to navigate this is while I'm all for female empowerment, and especially around sex, there has been videos and comments made that has crossed the line of what it means to fancy someone, and when it actually sounds pretty predatory and exploiting. For someone who wrote my final dissertation on sexual consent and was crossing a line, this has been especially interesting because there seems to be a different threshold of what is considered okay only because the victims of people's desires are male hockey players. I don't like that double standard. I feel that women who have experienced catcalling, getting involuntarily filmed in exposed situations like a groin stretch at their job, should hold ourselves to a higher standard. You can be sex positive without exploiting others. In her follow-up Instagram story, she posts a screenshot of someone's TikTok video, but you can tell that it is Kierra's because her name is there and it says creator. The other comment up on top references versus the holes that some people want to fill in with that good white D. And the wife says, again, I genuinely don't care about the comments about my husband's looks. He is so beautiful, right? I don't like, but at least I understand that people try to shoot their shot and DM him, even if I myself would not go for someone who is in a relationship. That is at least somewhat of a normal behavior when fancying someone. What doesn't sit with me is when your desires come with sexual harassment, inappropriate comments, and the fact that with the internet we can normalize behavior that would never be okay if we flip the genders around to a guy doing this to a female athlete. When we were expecting our son, I knew how important it was to raise him to treat people, and especially women, with respect if he were to identify as straight. And I would feel like a hypocrite if I didn't say anything about behavior that I would never be okay with if we raised a girl. I mean no hate on the book talk community, just a little request for people to think twice about their comments / videos or chanting crack my back at humans with feelings. I think this is a totally fair statement. If I had been one of those people that were participating in this and I read something like that, I would have been like, oh shit, my bad. I will chill out since it is making you and your husband uncomfortable. Surely that would be the rational response, right? Well, here's the thing you might not know about the online book community. Just because someone reads a lot of books does not mean that they understand reading comprehension. Kierra took huge offense at this and posted some videos in response.
And let me just say this, because it's pissing me off that I'm seeing my name being dragged on people's social medias when, bitch, I keep telling y'all, I'm not the one. It's come to my attention that I'm not even gonna say people or a whole group of fucking people, because the views tell the fucking opposite. It's come to my attention that a couple of fucking people aren't a fan of me saying crack my back. For one, let's get one thing fucking straight. The original saying was break my back. That it pisses me off that these Facebook people want to come to TikTok and want to make us take this app seriously, when the whole reason why we are on TikTok, our generation is on TikTok, is because it's an entertainment. It's a one place where we can just have fun and not really take things or take life serious. So to see my name being dragged with all these false accusations is it's blowing my mind. When I was doing these reactions when back in the country streets, when Luke Bryan's wife would literally repost my fucking videos about him thinking it was funny. I've had other celebrities repost my reactions thinking it was funny. Their girlfriends, hell, their even moms would send it to them like, girl, she's so funny. She's talking about like how hot you are. So now to be in a conversation where people are the same people that was literally saying, oh, my husband is the BookTok's panty dropper, my name is being dragged. I don't know, it's just literally pissing me the fuck off. Especially when I tell y'all all the fucking time, these 30-second, 45-second videos is just for fun. I make these videos and I go out and live my life with my friends and my family. I genuinely don't take my life seriously. And to say that, it's like, half the people I react to, more than half of them, girl, I don't even follow them on social media. I don't keep up with their life. I genuinely don't really give a damn. And I damn sure don't be fucking DMing them. The fuck do Kierra fucking Bad Bitch Lewis look like? I don't DM these fucking people. So to see these accusations or to see people mad about me saying crack my fucking back, baby, it's TikTok. People are making a fucking salary doing AI. We don't take shit seriously. And unless you're a chiropractor, you really can't crack my back. Now, I'm gonna go back. I just have to get this off my chest because, bitch, I can't talk to my therapist right now. But please, unless you know me, don't have me on your social media. Don't have my name in your fucking mouth. Because, girl, I'm not the fucking one. Like, it literally blows my mind. I'm like, girl, we're gonna leave it there. Go back to Facebook if y'all not liking this book talk TikTok shit, but don't try to come over here and tell us what to fucking do. Girl, it's jokes. And these jokes happened 4 or 5 months ago. I'm like, this is a screenshot from a video that happened earlier this year. Girl, I'm not the fuck. we're gonna stop it there. And then, update, I just found out that I was unfollowed by the Seattle Kraken. All because someone who literally was just feeding into the whole book talk thing. Oh yeah, my husband, book talk, love him, Someone who was just feeding into it now is resurfacing or now switching sides and saying, oh, because of this video 4 months ago, I'm not a fan. I don't like it. For one, like I said again, bitch, everything that comes out of my mouth is a fucking joke. I don't follow half these people. Damn sure don't DM them. But what also pisses me off about, like, I've noticed with musicians and also like sports teams, they like to use book talk to like get clout. And then they'll like skirt to the side of them and move on to like the next thing. And I'm not fucking rocking with that. And yeah, I'm pissed the fuck off. And which is a rare thing for me. But yeah, I'm pissed the fuck off. The way all of this, I've been having a good ass fucking week, a good ass life. Then the way this shit just blindsided me. And also for me to sit here and see that post that the woman posted of me, and me being an adult and literally message her and say, hey, if you got a problem with it or whatever of a video I posted 4 months ago, say the word. The video is fucking deleted. Any video is deleted. I haven't even spoke of that man on my fucking page literally since the beginning of hockey or whatever. So if you got a problem with it, just let me know. Speak to me as a woman. Didn't get no fucking response, so I'm pissed the fuck off. And what's pissing me the most off about this entire situation, whether it be this Felicia chick or the Seattle Kraken themselves, for one, bitch, I'm so heartbroken because I was like, finally, for the first time, I had something that was outside of books that I fell in love with, was literally gonna buy 30 people from my book club us tickets to go see them this fall. Now, I don't even fucking know, but let's go into me being the adult and messaging Felicia Wennberg yesterday when I saw her make a story about me and BookTok's. I literally said, hey, this is a screenshot from my video. I never meant any harm. I've never messaged him or anyone, because on her story, she was like, well, people are DMing. And so I broke it down for her because she also said she wasn't a fan of Crack My Back. I said break my back was just a saying on TikTok, so naturally crack was said, but I am so sorry and will delete any and all videos you want. I was so serious. I will literally delete whatever videos you fucking wanted, but you needed to respond. I said, I'm confused on what's going on because this video was posted on 4/26. And then I continue saying all this, just read. And what I also didn't like is her first post was about this, how she said she used to call her husband BookTok's panty dropper, BookTok Wonka, whatever. And now she's having a change of heart. But what I found so slick was, why did you cover up this person's name? But when it came to the post about me, the next post, you literally kept my name on there, trying to send whoever, you and your little goons, to come after me. And yeah, this was her whole slick thing. But my issue of the matter is, for you, I always say people want to ride BookTok coattail for the clout and then switch up. You were just calling your husband what? BookTok what? Now you're having a change of heart. And my biggest problem of all is, why didn't you DM me? If you're posting this on your story saying your issue is with me, Kierra Lewis, because you didn't cover up my name, why not DM me and say, hey, I had an issue with it. Asked his wife, I wouldn't like it. Me being the chillest fucking person, I'm a Sagittarius. I literally be like, oh my God, girl, say fucking less. Let's delete the video. We good. I'll see you this October. And kept it moving. I just didn't like the way this whole thing played out.
I can understand why she might feel defensive because her name was in the screenshot, whether the wife intended to show the name or not. But I think because her name was there, it felt more personal. But I think it's weird that she would dismiss the wife of the guy that she's been making all these videos about and calling her a bitch in the comments. It's also weird to insinuate that the wife is just trying to ride on BookTok's coattails for clout. I don't think she cares about clout at all. I think that's like the opposite of her problem. I think it's more like she's concerned about how some other people want to ride him. And she's mad that she messaged Felicia after this happened and Felicia didn't reply back. I mean, I don't really blame Felicia for not responding because this is a person with over 1 million followers. Therefore, she does have a lot of social clout compared to Felicia, who has like a regular small number of followers. And this person is known for making videos about how she wants the guy to crack her back like his dick is a fucking chiropractor. So yeah, maybe there are some reservations on the wife's part to not answer. Maybe she just wanted to get the message out and that was it. Immediately we get a slew of offensive comments that are blaming Felicia for this and making it seem like she's the one who's ruining all their fun. You could handle shit privately, Felicia, but now you want and made shit public. Not classy, Felicia. Okay, so what would be classy then? Making videos about how you want a guy's dick to split you in half like you're a goddamn stem cell? You are trying to turn something innocent into something harmful because of what's going on in your marriage. How about we work on security within ourselves first? Followed by that same person saying, I want your husband to crack my back. Imagine being a grown woman and being so insecure in your relationship that you have to go to Instagram because you went public about how hot your man is. Other people agreed and you didn't like it. Girl, are we reading the same thing? Because I did not get any sense of insecurity in Felicia's post at all. Like, it seemed perfectly rational to me. And she was actually a lot nicer than a lot of people would be in this kind of situation, considering the circumstances of, you know, people constantly flooding the comments, wanting your husband to nut in them. Like, I feel like she had a pretty good head on her shoulders to react like that. I think maybe other people are feeling insecure about being called out for sexual harassment, and instead of being embarrassed, they're projecting that onto the woman who called their shit out. She wanted to be BookTok's YN or OC, which is a fandom term for your name or original character. For example, if you're writing fan fiction and you have an OC character or a YN character, that's like a self-insert. And this comment is saying Felicia is trying to be what you see when you imagine the main character, but she isn't. Girl, nobody nobody's trying to be the main character because this is not a book. Nobody's talking about characters or tropes here. We're talking about like a real life person who has boundaries. And if we want to make it about that because for some reason your brain cannot compute the logic of reality, Felicia is married to this man. So if this were a romance book, literally and legally, she is his main character. But I think that's why people don't like that, because you have this conventionally attractive white blonde girl, which, let's be real, many of these hockey players exclusively only go for those women. And I think maybe that reality check was just not gonna be received well. So these people start harassing Felicia in all of her posts on Instagram, including posts that has her husband and her children. And they're saying things like they were the reason why the social media team now has a bunch of followers and engagement, which, I mean, I'm sure the thirsting did help the team's social media engagement and increase their followers, but they were already like a pretty popular team. So it's not like a bunch of horny women were the backbone of their entire infrastructure on TikTok. So then what the TikTok account for the hockey team does is they remove the videos that they previously posted where it was trying to make any of the players look appealing in a certain way. They also unfollowed Kierra, basically taking a step back from having involved themselves in BookTok in what I assume is them trying to support the wishes of Alex Wennberg and his wife. And it's unfortunate that they had to do that after fanning the flames of this mess in the first place. But I'm sure that this was a lesson learned from them, that if you encourage people to be horny on main, maybe try not to throw your players into the crossfire. So then Felicia releases another statement where she tries to explain her stance, but that doesn't help obviously, because we're not here to listen to logic. We're just mad that the wife of the man we've been thirsting after is trying to talk down to us. I really wanted my post to be one statement and be taken for what it was, a request for accountability, respect, boundaries, and for people to educate themselves on sexual harassment, consent, and the double standard I see online. I understand that people are confused by the timing of my statement, but while the creator is hung up on it being 4 months since she posted the video, she and her following do not seem to grasp that the video has continued to show up in our lives on a daily basis. We get sent this video and other videos of Alex on a weekly, if not daily basis. Every game I've been to and talked to, fans get in my head if these are genuine hockey fans or the people who comment that they masturbate with his jersey on. Everyone we meet talks to us about it, so it makes it really hard to continue to hope this would calm down on its own. While I really want to believe a lot of it is innocent comments, I think the behavior I've seen since my post has proven my original point. Then it got to a point where Alex Wennberg himself had to make his own statement on his Instagram story. Over the last couple of days, me and especially my wife have been getting lots of criticisms for speaking up about sexual harassment on TikTok. As someone who's been media trained my whole life, I've been taught to bite my tongue and leave it instead of making a statement. But it's gone too far for me to stay quiet when people are posting vile comments on my wife's Instagram and on photos of our child. The reason my wife says something and not me is because she simply does it better and more bravely than me. I'm all for the BookTok community to write books and fiction about hockey, but the aggressive language about real life players is too much. It has turned into daily and weekly comments on our personal social media. This is not something we support or want our child to grow up with. All we ask is for a little respect and common sense moving forward. We can all take a joke and funny comments, but when it turns personal and into something bigger that affects our family, we need to tell you that we've had enough. Enough of sexual harassment and harassment of our character and our relationship. Thank you for your understanding. I think the whole thing is just a goddamn mess. My thoughts are kind of all over the place, but I'll give my 2 cents on what I think the main issue is here. The issue isn't that people are making sexual jokes. The issue is when you do that towards someone who doesn't want it and then get mad when they draw boundaries. Whether you find the videos that creators like Kierra made to be cringy or weird or whatever, I don't think that's even relevant, because when I look at the beginning of this timeline with like her initial videos that she posted, to me it was pretty clear that she was just having a silly goofy time. And maybe I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt as someone who is also cringy on the internet, but I think she was just trying to make entertaining content and making absurd jokes about a guy that she found attractive. This is pretty much on par with many people who openly thirst on social media, where people just want to say the most out-of-pocket shit, like saying you wish that this celebrity would step on you, or saying, oh my god, if they stab you 5 times in the chest, you would be grateful. You know, just like unhinged behavior that's clearly meant to just be entertaining. And maybe that's why her videos don't faze me, because as someone who's friends with a lot of gay men, I've seen way more vile shit than this. But the part that actually turns me off about the situation is her reaction and everyone else's reaction afterward to the guy and his wife drawing boundaries and asking BookTok to chill out. I get how people might feel defensive about about this because it does seem like all of a sudden they're being lectured about their behavior when they had a very different reaction before where it had been positive reinforcement. But there's a big difference between a social media account playing along with the bit for views and followers and engagement and an actual person who's coming out and saying, hey, I'm not really cool with you talking about my dick like it's a colossal weapon that's about to hammer you down. I almost feel like instead of being embarrassed or acknowledging that you messed up and made a mistake or misunderstood boundaries, it's a lot easier to lash it out on people who are challenging you for your self-awareness, especially if that person is the woman who this guy actually loves and actually has sex with. That shit is probably what made it so personal to some of these people. If a man had spoken up about it, whether it was like another player or Alex himself or like the manager of the team, there might have still been backlash, but it would have been way less worse compared to a woman speaking out for that. And honestly, the manager of that team really should have spoken up. It shouldn't take the wife to have to speak up and deal with the repercussions of being harassed by that, because the internet is not kind to women, especially if they already lack awareness for online boundaries by constantly saying that they want to fuck this man and then they see that his wife is pointing out that that's fucking weird. The truth is, like, this is sexual harassment. You can have fun in your own corner of the internet, but the moment that you tag that person into these jokes about them or directly message them about these things, you're basically bringing someone into your kink and forcing them to look at it or participate in it. They didn't ask for that. And something that a lot of people do whenever they get defensive is they'll try to pull out whatever card they can to make the other person look like they were the aggressor. So in this case, people decided to call the wife racist simply for drawing boundaries. There are hundreds of people thirsting over your husband, but you decide to call out the black content creator, and as if the Seattle Kraken didn't invite her to the game and encourage her to do the videos for their own team clout. Hashtag by Felicia, hashtag racist. Again, just because the team's social media account did that doesn't mean the actual players in the team consented to that or felt comfortable with that. They don't have control over that. And maybe this is something that they had to bring up to the social media team or their manager later after the fact. The way white women never fail to weaponize their insecurities towards black women never fails. Kierra Lewis gave Seattle Kraken's clout because they were always posting thirst traps. Nobody would have ever given a fuck about that team if Kierra didn't make it popping. I mean, it was already a pretty popular team to begin with. So again, I don't think that a woman's horniness is the backbone of an entire hockey team's popularity. Like, if someone's horniness really had that much influence, all of the characters in Sarah J. Maas books would be like the president of the United States now, and they would be like the entire cabinet.
Even the wife even said on her social media, I was doing it too, but now I've just had to change your heart. Okay, so why don't you come after every single person? Why would you literally just put my name on it? And might I mention, you're coming after a black woman? Okay, yeah. I didn't like that.
Listen, I am the most stereotypical social justice warrior looking bitch there is. Look at my glasses and asymmetrical hair. I am constantly talking about race. The moment I utter the words white people, someone immediately gets offended. But even I will tell you that someone's wife asking for boundaries is not about race. Do people generally hold subconscious bias towards race in social situations? Yes. But when you see a person talking about how they want your husband to dick them down in all three holes, believe it or not, I don't think race would come across your mind in that specific instance. We're not talking about black women here. We're talking about black holes, if you know what I mean. I get why Kierra might feel she is being attacked as a black woman because the internet has never been graceful towards black women, and neither has the rest of society. But that doesn't mean that you can't mess up ever, or you can't have flaws or deeply misunderstand social boundaries. I think that's too easy of an excuse to try to like avoid taking accountability for mistakes that you made. And again, I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt here. Like, I don't think she intended for this to be sexual harassment. I think she was just having a silly, goofy time. But she needs to know if someone is saying, hey, this isn't cool, I feel uncomfortable with your videos that directly affect me. That's where you should take a step back and not try to escalate it into something that's about race when it wasn't even about that. Like, if you really want to make this about race, maybe we should start with why all of the romance books that you read only have white love interests. Maybe we should start with how every time you make a TikTok thirsting after a celebrity, it's always a white man. Maybe we should start with questioning why you're willing to excuse a country singer for saying the N-word because you think he's hot. I'm just saying, maybe it's time to self-reflect and stand up. The mental gymnastics that some of these people on BookTok are doing to justify their behavior and turn the blame on other people is so wild. People say that Felicia is being a hypocrite because she also objectified him. Girl, she's not even on the same playing field as you. She is literally his wife and they are in a consensual relationship. He's cool with her doing that. He's not cool with the a bunch of strangers flooding his comments and DMs about that. And even if someone was fine with this in the beginning, whether it was the wife or the hockey player or, you know, the team feeding into this, they're allowed to change their mind later. Consent is something that you can take back at any time. It's not something that you're locked into, especially if you didn't know that it would escalate into this. Shouldn't readers of romance books, which primarily focus on the development of characters and relationships, be a little bit more aware about this stuff? I also find it very ironic that for a genre that is pushing forward women's stories and women leading characters, those same readers can root for a woman in that fictional setting while harassing a real woman with sexist stereotypes of her being insecure or jealous just for drawing a boundary. Which brings me to the last section of the video. I just wonder, how did we get here? What happened to hello? How are you? Go team. Yay sports. I definitely think that one of the root causes for people's behavior and entitlement being so emboldened was the fact that the Seattle Kraken's TikTok went along with it. Like the fact that they started following Kierra, who is a huge creator known for making these videos, and engaging with her and giving her merchandise and inviting her to games, and even posting their own videos that romanticize the players or their appearance in a certain way. All of that validates what you're doing, because now it's not just you and your followers having a silly goofy time. Now an official brand is joining in with you, and it takes down that fourth wall, and then whatever line or boundary that you're supposed to have between you and the stranger has now become blurry. I think the way that celebrities get marketed by their PR teams and the prevalence of social media has made celebrities really accessible to the point where it makes it extremely easy for people to fixate on someone that they don't actually know. When I think about any of the sexual out-of-pocket jokes I've made, it's always been with friends where that's been our ongoing joke with each other, because that's like the dynamic of our friendship where we're comfortable doing that and acting ridiculous. Or I've made those jokes about fictional characters because they're not actually real people. And while I personally have no interest in doing that for like real people I don't know, like celebrities, it's clear that many others do have a lot of fun doing that because they get emboldened by everyone who has set up this parasocial relationship. I think in general, encouraging thirsting or making someone more sexually desirable has been normalized when it comes to famous people in general. BuzzFeed has a whole video series where they make celebrities read thirst tweets just so that they can get a reaction out of the celebrity feeling awkward or feeling confused. And obviously these videos are supposed to be funny, but there's a reason why we don't see a lot of these videos featuring women celebrities reading their thirst tweets. And I think that's because making women read comments about their body or their fuckability makes it a lot more obvious that this is kind of becoming more problematic, which makes me wonder, how much leeway do we give men when it comes to being objectified? Is it different because men are the oppressor, systematically speaking, and women are not? But does that also take into account social media and how they have really blurred the lines for both men and women? If we can have the boundaries of women in real life be violated because there are men who watch a bunch of porn and therefore have a skewed perception of fantasy versus reality, how similar or comparable would that be to men in real life having their boundaries be violated because of women reading smutty, erotic romance books and projecting that onto them and not being able to separate facts from fiction? I don't even know if that comparison makes sense, because obviously these are two very different industries. I am just thinking out loud and tossing questions that I think would be interesting to hear about people's opinions in the comments, because like, why did this happen with romance readers specifically? We don't really hear about this kind of phenomenon happening with a horror reader or a literary reader, especially when it comes to romance books. Like, just because you read books that are kinky or have some dark themes doesn't mean that you would actually support that in real life, because you can tell the difference between something that is safe and controlled, like a fictional story, versus real life. But here we see that there were readers that clearly were not able to differentiate between fact and fiction. When does this become a systemic problem versus just like a one and done scandal? Ultimately, at least for this case, I think this is a result of overzealous readers with no concept of social boundaries and a TikTok account / publicity team. These two groups briefly crossed together to commodify an athlete. Hey, so my camera died, which is probably an indicator that I was talking for way too long, but basically what I was trying to conclude was that while Felicia is totally right about BookTok's behavior being inappropriate and exploitative, a lot of this also falls upon the people behind marketing the Seattle Kraken, because they were the ones fans that also set a precedent in exploiting their players in the first place. Honestly, Felicia was probably thinking about them too when she was writing her call-out post, but she obviously couldn't mention them because she didn't want to risk her husband's career. But I think it's pretty clear that both sides were doing the same thing. Whether it's overzealous fans who are easily swayed by parasocial relationships, or the institutions themselves that are trying to profit off of those parasocial relationships, at the end of the day, someone's image is being sold in a certain way and they are being turned into an object for consumption. This happens all the time for actors and singers, and it definitely happens to athletes too, because fangirl behavior gets money and views. And obviously it is a haha hee hee girly time, but I think the unusual part about the situation and why people are talking about it and news outlets are writing about it is the fact that they find it so strange that readers are getting involved in the situation and that they were a part of that harassment, because you wouldn't really expect that kind of demographic to be involved in something like this. But as someone who has been in the book community pretty much since I started this YouTube channel, seeing a person get harassed by readers is unfortunately something that I have experienced as well. So it doesn't surprise me that readers are taking this shit way too seriously. There are companies that put profit and views over real people, just like how there are readers who will put fictional characters over real life people. They say that reading increases empathy, but sometimes when I see the tomfoolery that goes down on the internet, I don't quite know if that is true. In conclusion, people need to go to horny jail and I need to go eat my dinner. So go ahead and unsubscribe from my channel and goodbye.
How long I felt this way?